Hey everybody! In this video we'll learn about the non-linguistic representation strategy, and we'll also take a look at iMovie as our demonstration app. So just as a reminder, non-linguistic representations falls in that second category of our nine of our grouping of the nine strategies, and that's developing understandings. Um, and the real focus of this strategy is looking at how non-linguistic data, so not everything not words, so thinking about mental images, thinking about other sensory data, thinking about kinesthetics, um, and how all of that additional information can be helpful for students as they try to develop concepts, try to develop understandings. So we'll have some recommendations under classroom practice that we'll take a look at here in a second. So the whole idea here is that research tells us that information is stored in two ways, and we're very used to in schools the idea of linguistic, um, of that mode, that we do things with text, we do things with words. But we also know that there's a real wealth of data that students gather that comes in visually, that comes in orally, auditorially, excuse me, and other ways. And so that whole other category of non-linguistic information is very powerful, and especially when we can link the two. So the real power of this strategy is that it taps into what students already do naturally, and that is to look for opportunities for visual processing, look for opportunities to bring in visual information, uh, and so any opportunity for them to represent that knowledge as imagery, as movement, that's going to be helpful. The idea that the way they elaborate their knowledge, through imagery or movement, is going to help them create linkages, deeper understanding, and help them to bring it back and recall it more easily. So in terms of classroom practice, the book focuses on five different sort of sub-strategies, and those include using graphic organizers. You're hearing a lot about those in this course. And again, the idea there is that there's a lot of teacher practice involved, a lot of teacher modeling, finding the right graphic organizer for the job, and helping students know how to use them. The idea of making physical models or manipulatives. An example of this might be if you're learning about cell structures. That it's one thing to look at an example of a cell or a diagram of a cell, but it's a whole other thing for students to create their own model of a cell. Maybe using cellophane and gummy drops, that kind of thing. Um, any opportunity for them to generate mental pictures, and this might be trying to come up with a concrete analogy for an abstract concept, just simply visualizing, so think in terms of maps. Those are all helpful. The idea of creating pictures and illustrations or other symbolic representations. Um, and then engaging in movement, kinesthetic activity as a way to express a concept. So another example of that might be thinking about the relationships and the movements of the planets, and allowing students to move around the room and express their understanding of that through how they move. Um, and the kinesthetic activity is where we're going to focus with our demonstration of the app. We'll take a look at iMovie, but really what we're going to be doing could be done with almost any app that has a camera, or even the camera app itself. So anything that's going to integrate that camera. So what we're going to be doing is focusing on documenting students' expression, understanding through their kinesthetic activity. And where iMovie, I think, really shines is that it allows you to do some further editing of the photo, or the photos, or the video that you've captured, and sort of reorganize and work with it in ways that I think really reinforces the concept and allows students to react, or excuse me, to reflect further. So let's take a look here. of course, we've got the camera app, and you can pop that up on your iPad anytime. And so right here, you've got a powerful way to capture what is happening in your area, and point that to students, or give it to students to do their work. Um, Let me get back to iMovie here. So in our sort of model activity, let's assume that we're working on the concept of feelings. And one of the great things that iMovie does in the editing window is that it also gives you the opportunity to work with what they call movie trailers, and these are sort of nice little templates that you can use to create a scripted storyline. And so it comes up with you come up at the end with a nice little story, a nice little movie trailer, and it gives you an outline, as you can see here, so you can fill in um, some of the different pieces, the name and the participants and the credits. Then it gives you this nice storyboard, and and so for each of these areas in your story, you can capture video, or you can go to your camera and capture and grab video that you already have. So in this example, we were asking students to show us kinesthetically their understanding of different feelings. And so in this case, we've again gone to my 5-year-old for our model student, and he's given us some footage um, of some different expressions. So we're going to start with happy, and and we're going to see what we can find here. So we're going to capture some of his happy face, and then we're also going to grab his mad face. Move it around a little bit here to, okay, yep, he's looking pretty mad there. So we'll stick that in there. And I threw a few others in there before we started here. So now let's preview our video. There you have it. Non-linguistic representations and iMovie. We look forward to hearing your ideas in the discussion board, and have a great week. Thanks.